Hello, my name is Gary Marston and welcome back to another review on this channel. You may have seen some of my previous ones. In particular, if you're watching this, maybe you've seen something to do with this smart fitness ring. I have that RingConn ring still here on my finger and I've been using it ever since I put that review out, however many months ago that was. It's been super reliable, the carry case has been fantastic. Overall, I don't go anywhere without it. And then one day I got an email from the guys at RingConn asking me if I'd like to take part in reviewing their new Generation 2 smart ring. Now for some reason normally I don't like to go back and review another version of the same product just because I don't know if time has elapsed enough to make it worthwhile for the significant changes to be made. And I haven't had a single problem with this. That said, they've sent me this email which boasts some significant upgrades and changes. For example, the ring claims to now monitor sleep apnea. I went to a hostel in America a few months ago with a doctor. We were staying in Hollywood for one night, cheap and cheerful, just get a few hours sleep and move on. Anyway, did I sleep? Not quite. There was a man in there who I can only describe as being a human bear. He just roared endlessly from like midnight to 6 a.m. just like that endlessly, just below me in a bunk bed. I was on top. I didn't get a wink of sleep, not even headphones could drown it out. Anyway, in the morning, I was there exhausted, tired with this doctor. I said, "Did you sleep?" He was like, "What do you think?" And he then went on to tell me, he said, "I think that man suffered from sleep apnea that was sleeping below you because throughout the night he would just stop breathing and then he'd go, ugh." And so I thought, oh, what is that? And he said, it's a really serious thing. It can kill you eventually if you don't like get help for it. So when I saw this as the first thing it's boasting, it says here, based on deep learning, RingConn internal lab has proven to deliver 90.7% accuracy in identifying sleep apnea throughout the evening. It also boasts 10 to 12 days battery life, which is significant improvement on the 7 days here and the 7 days that I believe you get with things like the Aura Ring and the new Galaxy Smart Ring. Paired with that 10 to 12 day battery life, apparently there is a new version of this, the travel case, which should get you up to 150 plus days of use when you put it in here to charge. It also claims to be the world's thinnest and lightest smart ring with a minimum thickness of 2 millimeters and a weight of 2 grams. It's still waterproof and dustproof. It claims to get up to 100 meters underwater before having any issues, and that is the highest dust and water resistant standard at the moment on the market. It's compatible with iOS and Android, meaning you'll have a seamless experience on both devices. And lastly, it is subscription free, just like the Generation 1, which was the whole reason why I went for it in the first place. I love the look of the Aura Ring. I didn't like the look of a subscription fee, and this was the best solution at the time for me. So with that in mind, we have here the second generation. Why don't I unbox it for you right now? We'll have a quick look at what comes in the box, then I'll take it away for a couple of days and just see how it tracks my fitness, my sleep apnea. Hopefully I don't have it, and we'll go from there. Okay, first thing first, it comes in a very minimalist, nice, sleek, white box, RingConn logo on the front. You know, if you've seen Apple devices and the boxes they come in, it's the modern thing these days. Let's just pop it open and see what's inside. Okay, so here we go. Just a heads up, I would refer you back to my previous review where I go through everything relating to the sizing kit, which allowed me to choose this. I was a size 9 in the end. I've enjoyed the size 9, it's been perfect. Sometimes when I wash my hands, or go in the shower, it gets a little looser, the water gets in there, it kind of slips around my finger ever so slightly, which hasn't been the most foolproof of ways of using this ring. However, when it came to sending me a free sample copy to review, the guys didn't have another size 9. They said, we have size 10 or a size 8. I said, let's go for a size 8 because maybe that will counteract some of the issues I've been having in showers, etc. So that is something I will be looking into for the next few days. And here it is. So we have an instruction manual and a few words on the care of the item there. We have a USB-C charging cable and we have a USB-C charging case. This is the case that once fully charged will give you up to 150 days with the ring before having to recharge. And we have the ring itself. Now, I'm gonna try it on, just make sure size 8 isn't gonna kill me. That's perfect. And already, just literally off the bat, I can tell how much lighter, how much more design and sleek it is, how much thinner it is. It is nowhere near as bulky. I'm gonna do some close-ups of my hand in a second and you can see the side by side. I wonder if I put it on both fingers, if you can just see how much thinner that is just from the naked eye. Another thing to point out just off the bat, it is a million times glossier and shinier. It resembles more of an actual, they've sent me it in gold color. It resembles a gold ring, super shiny, I'd say almost a glossy finish, where version 1 had more of a matte finish. Yeah, they've almost cut it down by, I mean, probably a millimeter, but that makes the world of difference in something like this. I'm really happy, and the main important thing for me is that is so much tighter on my finger compared to this. If I do that, that kind of comes loose. This is just really snug and tight on there, but like not in a way that I can't pull it off. There you go, it comes off quite easily. Really happy with the fit. That's a size 8. I've got fairly small lady fingery hands, right? But that sounds wrong. There we go. That's my new ring. Will it kick this ring to the curb? Will this ring now be redundant? I'm gonna take this ring away and for the next few days, put it to the test, and I will come back and let you know how I find it in just a second, like this. And there we go, 3 days later, here I am back again with the RingConn Generation 2 fitness ring. And as I said at the beginning of this video, it's been a really interesting experience revisiting a product that I already know a fair bit about. Normally, I just review them for the first time and I kind of learn all about them in the moment. Now I'm looking for refinements. I'm looking for those like niche things that set it apart from the first generation. So I've got a few thoughts on that I'd like to share with you now. When it comes to the positives, without being too basic, it's just night and day, this ring compared to my previous ring. I think half of that might actually have to do with the fit. I think the size I had before was just ever so slightly off, and I didn't realize that was instrumental to how you felt about the product. I love the product, I wore it every day, but it wasn't without its issues. And I think that might have been something to do with it being ever so slightly too big. And so when my fingers got wet, it would slide off. I'd forget about it. I'd have to go and find it. This fit is so much nicer. It's so much tighter. I forget it's on. And the fact that it lasts significantly more days, 5 more days than the previous versions means I don't have to think about it for almost 2 weeks. And then I just go, oh, okay, time to charge again. It's definitely lighter. It's definitely more comfortable. On the whole, I'm enjoying wearing this significantly more than the previous version, even though I thought the previous version was completely fine. I've also found the interface to be more engaging and more intriguing. There's far more options to look into. It's doing a great job of telling me that my skin temperature is through the roof when I fall asleep, and that I should do a better job taking care of my skin temperature, which isn't something that normally would bother me. However, it has been 3,000 degrees and boiling outside. It's the summertime here in England, and therefore I have been noticing that impacts my sleeps. And it's funny, all that data works in tandem because it's showing me there that my sleep score for the week wasn't particularly great. And it hasn't been great throughout the year because it breaks down your sleep score metrics into various different bits of digestible data, from yearly roundups, weekly roundups, nightly roundups. You can put notes where you could say how you felt throughout the night and how you felt when you woke up. In regards to the sleep apnea stuff that I was talking about, I actually didn't get a chance to try that out. I didn't realize it doesn't record it off your own back. You have to actively go into the app and start monitoring sleep apnea and then turning it off again in the morning when you get round to it. So I thought this was something it did passively. It's actually something you have to engage with actively. So I will try that again in the coming days, and hopefully I can update you here on YouTube or on my TikTok channel about how well it does that. Ultimately, that might have been a bit pointless anyway, because I've never had anyone tell me that I snore or have anything remotely close to sleep apnea. So I imagine all the data would show me was zilch. It's also extremely accurate on the amount of fitness I've been doing and the amount of steps I've been taking. Some days I've really not been fit and healthy at all. I've been working like a slave. Other days I've been out there walking around places like Windsor and London and just enjoying myself, and it's been logging those correctly, tracking them. It seems to think I'm quite stressed a lot of the time. I'm about to go on a holiday, so maybe I've got that in the back of my mind. First world problems, I know, but good data, important data to have. And it can't be coincidence that it's picking up on things like temperature and how that impacts my sleep and how I'm doing as a result of it. The app seems much quicker this time around. The syncing from the ring to the phone seems much faster this time around. Just make sure to do it every couple of days. I found on the last ring, I could go a week sometimes and be like, oh, I haven't uploaded my data to the smartphone. I'd do that and it would take quite a while, and I'd kind of go like, oh, it's like a less enjoyable user experience. This time it goes, bang, there's your data. How do you like it? I also like in the interface seeing how much battery life you have. It's just easy to see. You go onto the My Page tab, you see it right there at the top, tells you how many days you've got left, when it recommends you charge. And when you actually put it in the charger, it tells you like, come back in 20 minutes, you'll be done. It's a really cool little nifty user-friendly experience. And those are the main things I can say about the Ring. It's basically the same product, but refined in all the ways you'd want. In the ways you'd want your smartphone to be refined. Longer battery, faster chip, better processor, lighter, more durable, sleeker, with some new nifty features. It's just doing all of that. So if you like the fitness ring before and you want the best battery life on the market with the most reliable charging carry case, portable case, it's doing all those little things better. What it hasn't done, and this is where it comes into the negatives, is some of the things I felt from my previous review that would be really handy to have. For example, a tracker. I still think it needs some sort of GPS functionality. The amount of times with the Generation 1 ring, I would check my hand and it wasn't there. And I go, where did I put that somewhere? And I'd put it in a lot of places. If you're cooking or washing, I would take it off. If you were doing weight training where you had weights in your hand, well, you could almost de-glove yourself. I'm not gonna go into what that is, but Google it if you want some gory madness. So you need to take it off in certain occasions. Sometimes I do that, house cleaning or whatnot, and forget where it went. And sometimes I'd tear the house up from top to bottom and couldn't find it. And I'd be like, it's gone. I need a little tracker. And I also thought that tracker would be good for people going on first dates or going abroad and maybe wanting to share their location with parents or loved ones just so they know they're okay. When you're maybe not away with your phone, if your phone's being charged somewhere, in a hotel room, for example, and you decide to go off on your own, it would be a nice way for people to know exactly where you are. So I thought that could be a nifty feature that they might add to this one. Maybe the technology isn't quite there yet, but with things like AirTags and the Android version of those, I really thought maybe we were getting into that sort of territory. But who knows, maybe that'll come in Generation 3. For now, I think it is an impeccable device. It has kicked my previous ring to the curb. For anyone who's currently got the Generation 1 ring, it was super easy to install the Generation 2 ring on the phone. All you had to do was unbind it on the My page on the app. It disconnected that old ring, and then you just synchronize the new ring in its case with the app, and bang, I was away. And it retained all my previous data and carried on collecting my data. And I can't stress enough, this is not an ad. Yes, I did get a free review copy of the Generation 2 ring to review, but in all my correspondence with the guys from the previous video and this video, these are my own thoughts, views, and an unbiased opinion on the ring. So with all that said, is the ring worth it? Well, they are running a Kickstarter crowdfunder campaign where you can get a discounted price on the Generation 2 ring from August the 1st to September the 14th. So actually, currently, I don't know what it's worth. I don't know what these are going to be retailing for. That information will become clear on the day this video is released. So go over to that Kickstarter page or the RingConn website to find out more about the pricing structure. But without knowing that knowledge, is this ring better than Generation 1? Well, like most things that are in the next generation, 100%. It isn't going to be a regression. I would recommend this ring over the first generation ring for 3 key reasons. 1, the battery life. It's like having an Apple Watch that you get double the amount of days using before you have to put it on the charge. 2, the design. It's lighter, it's more durable, I have more fun wearing it. And 3, the app. I enjoy using it more. It's faster, it's got more functionality, it's designed better. So in every way you look at it, it's a step forward. Is it a minor step forward? In some ways, yes, but the whole point of a ring is it's meant to feel comfortable when you're using it and when you're wearing it. And it does, it feels better to me. It's a nicer design. They've definitely done something behind the scenes to make sure that this one feels different to the last ring. So assuming the price is around about the same as the last generation was when it retailed, I would 100% recommend this ring. If this price for some reason is astronomical, maybe I'd say the Generation 1 ring will do just fine because that was priced really reasonably. So time will tell whether this ring is the affordable competitor to all the other rings that are out there on the market. All I will say is it does everything superbly well. It did it already fine. It's doing it even better now. And with no subscription fee, I can't see why anyone would look at another ring on the market. I certainly don't feel the need to go out there and look at a competitor to see how they compare and contrast. I'm sure they all give you very similar data. This does it at a very competitive rate. Thank you for sticking with me as always and watching this review. If you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comments box below. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time for another review. Cheers.